Matt Norman with Florida Native Boat Sales here in Tarpon Springs, Florida. Giving you a preview on a brokerage listing of mine. A 2008 Lake Bay 24. I believe it's a 24 backwater, but they're 24 bay boat. Repowered with a Mercury 2018 Mercury 350 Verado and sitting on a 2021 very clean AmeraTrail custom dual axle trailer. Also got some updates with electronics. Looking at this power pole move 36 volt trolling motor on the bow. It's a all white hull with a 3/4 tower, full controls up there, white powder coat, and dual 8-foot blade power poles. Hull looks in very good condition for the age. Top side could definitely use a compound and polish out, but I've only noticed 2 gel coat nicks. I'll give you a quick close-up, it's easy to show them. Rub rail is showing a little weathering as well, a little yellowing, some marks, but still looks perfectly functional. Again, this preliminary listing, we're staging the boats with my my friends over at Gausebuilt Boats. Subsequent info will be available, and probably by the time this is posted, I'll have hours and a few more dates of when electronics and power pole and age of batteries and all that kind of stuff. But anyways, wanted to at least get the video shot while we had some great weather before some weather comes through, and get this thing to market. So climb up here. Oh yes, so hull exterior. Right there is the 2 small gel coat chips. Looks to be a pretty easy repair. Rub rail right here is kind of popped out. That even honestly should be pretty easy to pop right back in place. But yeah, engine looks great. It's a nice white, Fusion white 350 Verado. Let's go ahead and climb up here. I've spent a decent amount of time in this boat model, and it rides out. I can tell you that much. It's a very, very smooth, dry, reliable ride for a bay boat. Lake Bay did a great job on this hull. All right, here in the back, and it's definitely a fishing forward design. You know, this in 08, you got to remember, you know, flip up seating wasn't always a norm, and again, Lake Bay's a fisherman's boat builder, anglers angling first, so there's not going to be flip up seats and cozy seating throughout, but it's definitely going to be a fishing platform. So dry storage, they are drained. These 2 wells are not plumbed. This is a live well, and then there's a live well in front of the console. Bilge access, and we'll go ahead and get everything opened up. Gas struts hold these up. It's a liner storage, so you could use this for fish box. I'm sure you could plumb it if you needed to. Sliding to the middle, which makes a lot of sense to have your main live well for center weight right here in the center. Nice rounded sides, high speed pickup, and then the starboard side. Got gaskets on the underside of the hatch, which is actually really nice. It keeps, as you're cleaning it, it keeps this gutter seam, keeps your gaskets from, you know, kind of getting marred and messed up as you're cleaning. And all these gaskets drain overboard, or all these gutters, hatch gutters, drain overboard. Let's take a look at the bilge. Good access here. As we dip down in here, first you'll see the 2 power pull pumps, 8-foot blade pumps. These look modern, newer. 2 bilge pumps for redundancy. Your 2 live well pumps, and there are inline basket filters on both pumps to keep debris and grass from clogging up. Bob's 6-inch jack plate with a good amount of setback, probably 8 inches or so of setback. 2 flush rod holders, gunnel mounted per side in the back. So does a great job at some light duty offshore, nearshore trolling. Bunch of newer looking JL speakers. And again, just to point out some honest wear while we're here, you know, you're gonna see some, see if we can zoom in here. You're gonna see some small cosmetic cracks in the corners of some hatches. There's one right here. Here's a few by this deck drain fitting. It's a self-bailing cockpit. A couple more right here. Not, in my opinion, atypical of the age, especially if there are some hours on the hull, and she's been, again, looks to be stored outside for a good little bit of her life, at least how the gel coat shows. But again, it all does appear to be cosmetic. Nothing, I've not felt any soft spots on the floor or any type of major critical gel coat or fiberglass repair. But again, buyer will do your own due diligence. So let's keep going through here. Leaning post live well. So I take that back. There are three wells on this boat. I actually do need to make sure that front well is plumbed. Completely forgot about this guy. So this is sweet. This is massive. This is probably 50 gallons or so. It's, again, great spot to be able to access baits easily, center weighted on the boat, and dual purpose with being a great seat, removable backrest right here. Upholstery is in really great condition, as is the powder coating. So now we're focusing in here at the console. Got some nice grab handles right here at the lower helm. A Garmin 8616 XSV, nicer modern unit, combination chart plotter and depth sounder. Fusion audio head unit to control that nice JL speaker system. Lenco trim tabs, power pull control, key switch, 12-volt power. Your accessory switches, Mercury binnacle. This is a power steering system with fly-by-wire digital controls. Jack plate blinker switch rounds out your lower station controls, and then convenient access to all the batteries here, right here under the console. So again, good weight management with these batteries, and you can see what appears to be the 3 trolling motor batteries with these North Stars, and then probably a starting in house with the Interstate green tops. And again, powder coating is in really good shape, I think, for the age. I haven't seen any major flaking. Zoom out for a second. So you can get up to the upper helm on either side. It's a fixed upper helm too, so there's no fold down mechanism. This is going to trailer under your bridges and you know, any of your main roads, power lines and everything, no problem. 4 rod holders here on the back of the hardtop, spreader light, little life jacket, canvas storage conveniently tucked out of the way. 3 vertical rod holders per side on the console, and those are not going to impede the upper station. Also, before I head up there and leave the back area of the boat, you have 3 either forward or aft facing tubes for gaffs, additional rods, boat hooks, etc. So plenty of rod storage. And let's take a look up top here. Couple steps get you up. And really all the core things you need up top here. You have jack plate switch, Garmin 7607 XSV, so all of your depth and cartography, power pole, trim tabs, binnacle, 4 cup holders actually. A little bit of delamination on this screen. Probably not anything critical. I've seen plenty of Garmin screens look like this and still function for many years before they have any screen issues for function. Upholstery up here is in great shape. You got nice both ability to sit and lean up against, along with a look at your rod holders back here. Nice bird's eye view from this upper station. If you're west coast of Florida boater, fisherman, in the Keys, so many areas in the Southeast, honestly, you can utilize that 3/4 tower and really advance your capabilities. So now here, the forward section of the boat, still a good amount of area, tons of storage up here. Built-in jump seat in front of the console. We need to confirm that there are cushions. It appears that there's tracks for upholstery to be fastened. This is pretty sweet. Little access to your electronics and a convenient spot for the power pull charge battery management. Here's a look at the Mercury power steering pump, back side of your Garmin, and additional wiring. So this is what I believe to be a 3rd live well. Obviously we'll confirm that she is still plumbed, but it looks like the infrastructure is there. So we got 3 JL speakers up here. It looks to be a 10-inch sub and 2 7.7s or 8.8s on the side. So plenty of tunes capability. Now let's dig into the storage. So this is a finished locker that really expands a lot once you get into that opening. So great use of space there in the floor. And then these guys on either side are identical. They're set up to be rod lockers, but you could use them for just about anything that fits. Same over here. Gas strut's a little tired on this one. And here we can look at some of the cosmetic cracking here in the corners. A couple more in this radius right here. So it's a single step up to the elevated deck. Of course, you could step up back here on the rod lockers or walk all the way up here. Nice unrestricted finished box storage here. Be a great for bulky items. And again, it's nice with all those batteries in that console. You're not taking up storage space of any of these. You know, I've seen a lot of boats where that would just be chock full of 3 trolling motor batteries, but they can bail out enough room in that console. So here's actually a really nice anchor locker. You know, it does not have a dedicated kind of holster up top here, but as far as just sheer volume and access and easy in and out, I like it. Yeah, probably the most prevalent amount of those cracks right here in this area. Pull up cleat, and here we got this power pull move trolling motor. It's on a quick release. Again, I'll have to confirm when it was installed. Looks to be a handful of years old. Maybe if I were to guess, maybe your first year that they came out, which that was what, maybe 2022. So I think that about covers it. Of course, I'll be able to plug in additional info forthcoming that hopefully will be clear in the description. But again, wanted to get this boat out there because it is summertime boating. Should be positioned appropriately in the marketplace to be very attractive and desirable. So loving that repower with the 350 and the trailer second station suite. So again, 2008 Lake and Bay 24 bay boat, 2018 350 Verado, 3/4 tower, 2021 AmeraTrail, power pull move, dual 8-foot blades, all white boat, clean bottom, here in Tarpon Springs, Florida. I am Matt Norman with Florida Native Boat Sales. We will see you on the water.